friends, and welcome back to my crafty space where I share my memory keeping projects and processes with all of you. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. My name is Crystal and I am so excited that all of you are here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you can see all my future crafty videos and any of the products or the links that I mention in this video I will put in the description box down below. So today we are working on Project Life week 16. I'm pretty sure it's week 16. And I actually don't have like a kit that I'm working with. I believe I've already used up the majority of my April Stories by the Month kit. I've already done a spread using the recent story kit, and I've used up most of my future craft kit from this month as well. So since I didn't have like an actual kit to work from, I just went into my stash and pulled out some of the older cards and embellishments that I haven't used from past kits. And for this one, I did decide to just keep it narrowed down to my Ali Edwards products. That just kind of helps me focus on a fewer cards and embellishments and getting stories told from that. So I've got my journaling is already printed on here. If you guys are wondering how to do that, I do have a tutorial that I'll link up at the eye for you in case you're interested in seeing that. So I have this older card that says celebrating. Gosh, I want to say this was maybe from a spring kit last year, Stories by the Month. I have this April card, which was from the April Stories by the Month kit in 2000, like the physical kit from 2019. And then what else do I have here? I have this random card from the most recent March kit, and I've got this one that says the good goes along with the bad and makes a beautiful picture. And again, I think that was a spring kit just based on the colors. I have a card that says play from the play story kit, and then I believe this quote card also came from the play story kit. So it's just kind of a hodgepodge, but the colors all seemed to work together pretty nicely. I pulled out an older chipboard set. I believe this was April of 2019 as well. And then I've got both my 2020 and my 2019 stamp sets. So using this, and I might pull out some other embellishments, we'll see. I'm going to work on getting this week done. So I'm going to put you guys on fast forward and talk you through my process, and then we will come back, slow down, and close you guys out once I get this thing done. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's get started with this like I usually do by working on one side at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and lay out the left side of this layout, and I did not trim my photos in half prior to starting filming, so this kind of shows you how those are printed. My 3x4 photos, I print I print two of them on a 4x6 canvas, which I have a tutorial for how I do that. I'll link that for you guys in case you want to see how I do that. It's a tutorial for how I put the borders around my photos and then how I add two of them onto a canvas to print them out. Anyway, that's besides the point. So we are working on the left side of this spread. And like I said, I pulled out some cards from my stash. So they're not necessarily from the same kit here, but they do all have kind of that spring look to them. The only card in this entire page that looks maybe a teeny tiny bit out of place is the Remember This card that was from the March Stories by the Month kit this year. But I did like that it kind of mirrored the Zoom call photo, because there's a lot of black in that photo and there wasn't a lot of black anywhere else in my spread. So I don't know, it just kind of maybe helped to make the photo blend in a little bit more, but I don't know. It's okay. I don't mind it. So I'm trying to figure out a formula of what to use as I am working on this side. I did pull out some chipboard, the April Stories by the Month chipboard from last year's kit. Has a lot, like the ones that I have remaining on that little page of them, most of them have to do with like flowers and outside. And I don't know where you guys are all from, but here in Michigan, we are basically, I feel like it's still winter. Like I'm filming this video the day before this will post. So for you guys, I filmed this video yesterday and it snowed, like giant snowflakes, catch them on your tongue, snowed yesterday for me today. So there's no plants, like there are very few plants. The trees are just starting to bud. So those ones really aren't working for me. So I went into my stash and pulled out some other ones that I had. And then I also decided to go ahead and see if I could fit some of these stamps onto my photos. So I end up picking a square one that says this day, and I'm going to stamp it on the computer screen above Jonah's head. There's a lot of white space there, so since it's one of the stamps that is like, I don't know what to call it. It's like filled in. It's like a solid stamp where the sentiment is cut out of it. So when you stamp it down onto the white space, it really helps the words pop out. I also grabbed the stamp that says routines, and I'm going to put that on the picture of the kids taking a bath because that is very routine. And then I will find one more to put on the picture of me in my mask that says living life one day at a time. So that will go on there. And then I will also stamp on my title card. Speaking of which, my title card, it's funny, I actually was planning originally to put a quote card where the like circle celebrating card is, but the quote card didn't have adequate space for putting my week number and my dates on it. And I really like to have my date and my week number somewhere in that first column of cards and photos. Sometimes it's on the bottom, sometimes it's on the top, sometimes it's in the middle, but it's always on that first column or that first side. So the celebrating card I originally was going to put on the second page, but it has this little section at the bottom where it says details. It's like that little word that you can kind of see at the bottom. And I thought that that would be a perfect spot to stamp my week number and dates. So I just decided to go ahead and switch it up to that top spot. And you know what? It turns out just fine. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys saw that, that little tumble that my stamp block took there. I totally dropped it and got so lucky that it didn't end up on my pictures or my journaling cards, because that would have been, I think I probably would have cried. But, you know, so I've got a little stain there on my table now. That's fun. But hey, you know what? It happens. That just goes to show that we all do silly things like that all the time. And Tashi, if you're watching this, there you go. I drop my stuff too. All right, you guys. So while I am finishing up with this embellishing on here, let's talk about these photos. So I've got a picture of Jonah by my computer screen that I just covered up. But anyway, that is a picture from earlier in the week when I was working at my desk, and he was not happy about me not paying attention to him. So he came over and sat on my lap while I was working, and I just snapped a picture because I thought it was cute. I have a picture of the kids taking a bath. Usually Aaron gives them baths, but I decided to just go ahead and go for it this week, and we had so much fun. My mom actually got them like these, I don't know what they're called, like bath tablets, where you put one in the water and it changes the color of the water. So they picked blue. So the water in that bathtub looks like crazy blue because it is. Like we dyed the water that color. That was really fun. And then I have a picture of a puzzle that I worked on throughout the week, and I did end up finishing it. So I took a picture of that because I was super proud and just happy with myself for working on a puzzle and doing something that was creative and fun and, you know, something different and out of the ordinary for me. It was fun. The picture of me in my mask and gloves was from the day when Aaron went grocery shopping. So he does all of our grocery shopping. I am an asthmatic, so that puts me in a high risk category during all of this COVID stuff. So I actually have not left my house in, I think, 6 weeks now. So Aaron does all of the errands for us. So he does all the grocery shopping, which all we do is we order pickup. So he just goes and picks it up. And then when he got home, I threw on my mask and my gloves to go help him disinfect everything before we brought it into the house. So that was what that picture was from. And then the Zoom call picture that you guys saw earlier was from later in the week. The Allie Edwards creative team did a Zoom call all together, and it was super cool. So we got a picture. We took a couple of pictures, but the one that I chose was the one where we posed like Brady Bunch. And I added that to the album because that was something really, really awesome. It was the first time I've ever been a part of something like that. So it was super cool to like get a chance to talk to some other creative people who live all around the world. Just really, really awesome. So that is this side of the week. I did just grab out my Allie Edwards Crafters Inc. Columbia, I believe is what it's called. And it's like the perfect teal color. It matches perfectly the most of the cards that I chose for this week. And then I'm grabbing my roller date stamp to throw that on. I left enough space in between so I could put something in there. So I just picked one of those like puffy circles. And then that side is done. So now I'm going to pull over the right side of this spread. Now, if you guys are new to me, you might be surprised by how much journaling there is in my project life. I am somebody who never, what I want to say, that I always have a lot of words. Always. Especially when I start writing, I just start writing and then I just can't stop writing. So most of my spreads have a lot of writing on them. The card up there was... it was really timely for right now. So it says the good goes along with the bad and makes a beautiful picture with a large space to either add a photo or journaling. And I chose to add journaling and just talk about how, you know, we've had a mix of good and bad in our daily lives right now. And how, you know, it's hard not having control over this situation, but how it's also been really good to spend more time together as a family and, you know, to just be together. And yeah, so it's been good. So I just kind of talk about that in that journaling. And then the rest of the pictures in this page are pretty much from the weekend. So we share a backyard. We don't really share a backyard. Our backyard butts up to our neighbor's backyard, who has a son a little bit younger than our daughter. Normally they are like the best of friends, playmates, and just play all the time. So it's been kind of hard to have to keep them apart. So like what we'll do is we will go outside at the same time and they will play on their play set in their backyard and we will play on our play set in our backyard. But then, you know, we can still see each other and talk to each other and get a little bit of like interaction. But, you know, we're still social distanced, which is really nice. So eventually when all of this is lifted, it'll be so nice for the kids to be able to just intermingle again on each other's things. But for now, we are, you know, maintaining safe distances from each other. Now, they just bought a fire pit, like a portable fire pit. And they have placed it like right on the line of our properties, which is fun because then we can set up chairs on our side and they can set up chairs on their side. And like, we're a good distance away from this thing. But it feels like we're sitting there having a campfire together and doing that. So then we'll take turns like going up and making s'mores and coming back. And it's been fun. It's, you know, it is what it is, but it has definitely been nice to quote unquote spend time with people, even though, you know, we are still quite separate. So that's what the majority of these pictures are from on this side, except for this one right here. So this one of Jonah, so Aaron Aaron was busy on Sunday, and so I was pretty much watching the kids, and Izzy had an accident, and while I was helping her out, Jonah walked himself into my bathroom, got into my makeup, and then smeared lipstick all over his face. So he is covered with lipstick. And so I just snapped a picture of him because it was hilarious and also, also terrifying, but it was hilarious. And then I made sure to put that one in here because that was just super funny. So other than that, the only other thing that I have been adding to these spreads are some more chipboard. So I've got the less is more pink, which matches the pink of Izzy. I've got one that says giving thanks for this season up on the fire pit. And the yard is waking up on the picture of Izzy with the flower. And then I added some little banner stickers that were just like planner stickers that I've had forever. So the colors worked well. So I added them on a couple of different pictures. And then I went and pulled out some puffy heart stickers from Ellie's studio, and I am just adding those, just sprinkling them around on this spread to add a little bit more interest. A lot of times I will add puffy stickers right by my stamps when the stamps blend in with my photo. So like on that picture of the s'more, I have one that says Spring Stories, but it's a little hard to see. So when I add that pink heart, it reminds me to look there when I'm looking at that picture later. It also, working with the puffy hearts, it also helps me to fill in a little bit of extra space. So like this picture right here, the one with the puzzle, I had put on one of those one of the flags or banner stickers. And then I added a little chipboard that says awesome, because this was awesome. Putting that puzzle together was awesome. But then I was kind of bothered because it felt really out of scale. Like this picture is huge and that little embellishment was just like tiny, but I had already stuck it down, so there was nothing I could do about it. I tried to see if I could fit a heart there. I tried to see if I could put one of those dots there, but I didn't like the dots because the only dot I have on this whole spread is in between the dates, and it serves as almost like the dash mark. So I didn't like the way that another dot looks. See, there it is. So I wasn't crazy about it. So I decided that was a no. I tried putting a heart there, but the heart was so big that was also a no. And then I eventually land on the plus sign. So even though the plus sign is nowhere else, I decided I didn't care. I made my decision and stuck it on. And that, my friends, is it. All right, you guys, so that does it for this week's spread, and this came together super nice. I love that I was able to get some of the stuff in my stash used up, and it all went together really nice. It helped sticking to my Allie Edwards products just because it, all the colors kind of went together, like the teals and all that. I did pull out a few things that weren't Allie Edwards, like I've got the puffy heart stickers and this little label over here, but for the most part, everything is from Allie, and that made my decisions a lot easier to make. So I hope that this inspires you guys to grab some of the cards or the embellishments out of your stash that you've, put away, and get them used up and put on a page. It feels really good to use the stuff that we love. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I will see you tomorrow for the next video in our Story Kit Crush series. It'll be the last one for gratitude, and I will also be announcing what the next kit we will be crushing will be. So I hope to see you guys here tomorrow. Until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye now.